What's good, homies? Welcome back to another episode in our West Tigers rebuild series. With the NRL season done and dusted, we now enter our international campaign and will be competing in the Four Nations as England. Before we get into today's game and everything, I do want to remind you guys that the poll is live. The three most requested teams were the South Sydney Rabbitohs, the St George Illawarra Dragons, and the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. So if you haven't already, head on over to the link, I'll pin it in the comment section down below, and yeah, vote for what you want to see. Alright, so our first game in the tournament is against the Kiwis, and we'll be playing at Manchester Stadium, arguably one of my favourite stadiums abroad if I'm honest. As we look at their lineup here, and as you can see, Kalen Ponga at fullback for some reason, they have Vatuve on the wing, another strange selection, also Chase Stanley. Other than those weird selections, everything else is pretty standard for a Kiwi side. Jason Taumalolo in there at lock. Hopefully I can go through and change certain players' preferred rep side. I remember it being a possibility on Rugby League Live 3, but to be honest with you, I haven't even played around with the fan hub on this game. I just haven't felt the need to edit anything, but obviously as time goes by you'd want to update your squads, player positions, stats and everything like that, but it's broken on this game at the moment, especially for guys that are trying to play the career mode with updated teams. Well, that's what I've been told at least. As we jump into the match here, starting off in possession, it's going to be the first tackle 13 minutes in. We've got what looks to be a block play here as we send it to Gale, and he sends it wide, linking up with Woodip. Woodip with another wide ball to Callum Watkins, and he's going to get pulled down inside their 30. Woodip in at first receiver, pops a beautiful short ball here to James Graham, and he's going to link up with Sam Burgess to score our first try of the game. Pretty decent try, nice and clean looking as we take a closer look here on the replay. And from dummy half it goes to Gareth Woodip, just pops a short ball to Graham, and I don't know what Kalen Ponga was diving at, but Graham finds Burgess, supporting on the inside, unselfishly passes him the ball, and he scores our first try of the game. So if you saw the lineup, it's pretty much the same lineup we had during the World Cup last season, and I tried to get an up-to-date lineup, but the thing with rep teams is, for some reason, it's still automatically generated, the whole 25-man squad, so I had to make do with what I had. And unfortunately, half of the players selected in that World Cup squad weren't even available for selection in the game, as Kalen Ponga goes on a nice little run, breaks out of a tackle, out of a Sam Tompkins tackle, and then he eventually gets grounded just outside our 20 as they send it to Johnson to Chase Stanley, who gets around 1, and he gets some decent post-contact meters here outside our 10 as they send it to Foreign. And just going from side to side here are the Kiwis. Sean Johnson wrapped up 5 meters out. A short ball here to our Tigers captain, Elijah Taylor, who gets met in solid contact, but he's able to drive towards the try line and eventually grounds the ball for the Kiwis' first try of the game. They're going to send it up to view the grounding as per usual for these animations. And as you can see here, Elijah Taylor just makes it to the try line. It's nice to see Elijah Taylor on the Kiwi side finally being rewarded for an outstanding season he had with us at the Tigers. Even Chris McQueen, I was a little biased there, chosen for England, as Chase Stanley sets up to take the kick, and he's going to slot it for 2 points and ties the game up. Something you'll see regularly throughout this Four Nations tournament will be that new Four Nations transition that I made. I try to spice things up a bit with my own transitions. You'll definitely see a lot more of that for the upcoming series, and some other new things that I'm going to try, and you'll just have to wait and see to find out what it is, but I reckon it'll be pretty good as we make the catch here of Ryan Hall, looking to return it, but we're going to get driven back into the in-goal area as the Kiwis force a repeat set. Back with the Kiwis after the dropout, and it's Elijah Taylor taking the head up. He's going to get stopped 45 meters out. On the first, as they quickly shift it out to Chase Stanley. Nice bit of footwork on display. He's eventually rounded up by Hodgson just outside our 20 as they go short to Taumalolo, and he's just going to run straight through the gap, right around the ruck there as he scores under the posts. It's a fairly soft try there, scored by Taumalolo. Sam Tompkins it was that got caught, sitting at marker, pretty much left the back wide open, and Taumalolo had enough pace to burst through the hole, and yeah, score under the posts as Chase Stanley converts. And they're going to go up by 6 points as the first half comes to an end, and we're going to head into the sheds trailing the Kiwis 12 points to 6. there really isn't too much to say about our first half performance. We've basically just been starved of the ball. Well, I wouldn't say starved, but we've definitely had less ball. As you can see on the stat sheet here, completed 5 from 5 sets, no errors, no penalties conceded, and our defense has been pretty solid for the most part. To put it plain and simple, the Kiwis have just played better with the ball in hand. They're only up by 6 points, and for the most part it's been pretty close. Alright, so back in the second, we're going to send it to Woodip to get rid of it on the last, and everything just turns into this big cluster here in the middle. We try and get rid of the ball, gets intercepted by Johnson, and the play ends with him getting clipped in a high tackle as they find the line on our 30. Running onto it here is Jason Dalmololo, and he's going to get pulled down inside the 30 as Luke goes for a sniping little run out of dummy half, and he makes decent meters as he gets pulled down inside the 10. On the second, they go wide to Harris, just throwing his body at the line as he tries to power over it to get the grounding. I'm going to take a look right here at the replay if he got it down. It looked like he did. It goes up as a try, and as you can see here, surely the ball touches the ground, but the video referee is going to rule it a no try, and it's back to the drawing board for the Kiwis as they continue to hammer away just inside our 10 now. That was a shocking decision there by the bunker. Nice to see the realism, I guess, as Peter Hickey with the twinkle toes gets around his opposite and he scores their 3rd try of the game. They were definitely robbed of a try just a few plays earlier, and I guess it's a bit of justice for the Kiwis here as they score their 3rd try, and it's converted once again by Chase Stanley. Alright, so we're 57 minutes in, making a few changes here. Second tackle, we go short to Hill, running onto it, bumps off one, and he's going to get wrapped up by 2 defenders. On their 40, we go to Woodip, he goes wide to Hall. Nice little sidestep, but it ultimately amounts to nothing as we continue to run it here. As Daryl Clark takes the tackle, Tompkins in at dummy half. And we have, I believe this is Woodip in the pocket. As he gets the ball, sends it wide to McQueen. As we run it on the last, shift it down the line, it makes its way out to Joe Burgess. Pops a chip over the top and scores our 2nd try of the game, finally coming in the 60th minute. It was a bit of a struggle attacking in this match. As we take a look at the replay here, setting up for the kick, we instead send it wide to McQueen. McQueen links up with his centre, and he sends it out to Joe Burgess, who pops a beautiful chip over the top, regathers, and scores in the corner. Back with Luke Gale to take the shot at goal. The guy has a 92% career goal accuracy. Pretty decent, more than decent really, as we miss the kick here, and we're going to trail by 8 points. Alright, as we enter the final 10 minutes, with Gale here on the second, we're just shifting it sideways as we finally find a forward. Graham fends off one, passes to Burgess who fends off another, and then we're going to get pulled down outside their 20. On the third, as we go to Woodip, looking for options here, looking for runners, but we end up taking the tackle inside the 20. George Burgess links up with McQueen, looking for that short ball to the playmaker, but it goes way back in field, and we're going to get pulled down on the 10. 5th and last here, as we send it to Gale, puts up a bomb across field. Hall bats it back, Tompkins a ball in hand, tries to pass to Sam Burgess, as we continue to spam that pass button, trying to get it out wide, but it's going to get well defended by the Kiwis. Really, it's just a combination of the two. Good defense by the Kiwis and terrible execution and attack by us, as they send it to Big Marty to power, taking it to the line, and he's going to get wrapped up, 25 out. 5 minutes to go, firing off a beautiful inside ball to Bromwich, and he's going to get pulled down around about a meter out from the try line. Great post-contact meters, as Isaac Luke goes for a cheeky scoot here right in front of the try line. Definitely caught me off guard, and he's going to get that drop down animation. As you can see here, grounds the ball for the Kiwis' 4th try of the game. This is known as the cheese animation, but to be honest, I wasn't really bothered by it in this instance because I was caught off guard. It only really becomes an issue when you see it more than 2 or 3 times a game. As they get the green lights, and it's going to be another easy kick for Chase Stanley as he converts the 4 into 6, and that ends up being the full-time score. We lose to the Kiwis in our first game in the Four Nations, 24 points to 10 here at Manchester Stadium. There really isn't much else to say. I mean, it's the first game of the Four Nations. Our attack was straight up trash. We did have opportunities, but we just failed to convert it into points. As we get a quick glimpse of the full-time match stats here, it's going to be Bully Luke picking up man of the match. And as always, if you made it to the end of the video, hit the comment section up with the hashtag oddsquad or nothing. You'll notice that I do change it from time to time, just to see who the real ones are, the real odd squad. Also, drop that like button for more Rugby League Live 4 content. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you. Oh crap, also don't forget to vote for our next team to rebuild. And yeah, later.